Hola guys and girls, and welcome to my team builder for week 2 of the GBA. This time it's divisional week, and that means we face an opponent out of our division. So these are the most important matches we will have in our season. We will fight all of these 2 times, so we have 6 total divisional matches, so half of our matches are divisional matches. And we are facing first the Kansas City Jirachiefs, coached by none other than TTM Jolt. TTM, of course, standing for Token Minorities. He is on the channel with multiple people, and yeah, he was in D-League, and he got promoted to the regular league. He actually managed to win week 1 as well. Sadly, he did win 3-0 versus Scizor, so he is 1 differential point ahead currently in the division, granting me only, the place behind him, basically. But of course, if you win, doesn't matter differential, we will be in front of him again. So yeah, I never faced Jolt before. I may have faced him in like some of the tournaments, like a lot of draft tournaments going on. I made it a rule just to not upload draft tournaments. Doesn't matter if I do good or do well, do good or do bad, of course. But yeah, I may face them there, but I don't really count those as a real match because you don't have a smaller team. You have like only a limited amount of time of prep. This is the first time I'm facing for real, so yeah, and I'm always looking forward to that. We of course don't have any history because of that regarding matches, so nothing I can much talk about here, barring his team, of course, and he made some changes to his squad as well, of course. Hopefully I did upload a video talking about my transactions. If not, check out the GBA channel. There will be a transaction with like my reasoning and all this stuff. But I think I plan to upload one of my own. But either way, he made some changes as well. And he got the Scizor, the Hydreigon, the Arcanine, Mega Venusaur, Seismitoad, Aerodactyl, Rotom, Spoke, Gardevoir, Alolan Persian, Breloom, and Durant. Scizor and the Rotom being his Z-Mons. And yeah, one big change he made is he got rid of his Staraptor, which I'm very happy about. Because if you're not aware, my original draft before changes had like no flying resist, and Staraptor is a very nice flying stab using Mon, and Bravebird kills everything. So now he has Breloom, which is still a threat, but not as big as Staraptor. So I am happy with the changes. Like a lot of my changes had to do with general weakness on my team, but a lot as well that I have to face Scizor in the division in this week, for example. And yeah, that's why my changes got inspired by that, because I looked at the picture and was like, oh damn, I need something. But seems he didn't look at the matchup, he just did more look at overall team synergy. And either way, this is the squad. Biggest threat, of course, being the Scizor now, because now I do have flying resist. Of course, that is Mega Manectric, which is sadly not too bulky. It has Intimidate, which can be helpful, but to be fair, the main attacking move of Scizor is flying type. That is Air Slash, and that's special, so Intimidate doesn't come into play. I never saw like it. He might be. Does Scizor even get fly? I don't think so. So I don't think we will see a Z-Fly Scizor. I actually have to look into that. But again, I'm not expecting Z-Fly Scizor. He might be Z-move Scizor, but I'm not expecting Z-Fly. Scizor is in both scenarios scary. That is one if it's a more offensive one with Totemize, and the other one if it's just a straight defensive one. I have either troubles taking it down, or I have troubles basically stopping it from sweeping. And I have to scout out what kind of Scizor it is. I'm like very sure it's going to be a Z-move Scizor, and not Z-move Rotom. And if it's not Z-move Scizor, then it's an indicator for that it's a more defensive variant. Other big threats, of course, he has on his team other Mega Venusaur. It's a kind of same area as Scizor threat-wise. It's a pain to take down. It's very difficult to take down, actually. But it's not as big of an offensive threat, of course, because it can't set up. Like, I think it has work up as setup moves, but you barely see like a setup video. So it will be a pain to take down. Other threats on his team are the Breloom and the Durant. Hydreigon is not too big of a threat. He might bring it, but like Tapu Fini just straight deals with it. Like, yeah, that's it. So as long as I have Tapu Fini, I don't have to be scared about Dragon. Breloom, on the other hand, I am scared about. Like, you know, I did fix a bit of my fighting weakness, but Mark Punch is still very nice with, for example, my Kyurem, with my Cobalion, with my Crook, a lot of my team, and then he has Grass Step for my main fighting resist, which of course is my Tapu Fini. And Spore, I'm like not really sure if he really brought Spore on this. He might just bring 4 attacks or 3 attacks. Sword Stance, 3 attacks Leech Seed, 3 attacks Substitute, 4 attacks Choice Bandit, I don't know. But because Spore is not too big a problem, because for once I have Komala, which is immune to that in general, then I have the Misty Terrain, which makes like all of my mons immune to sleep, barring the ones which are floating. So Spore might not be a thing, but it's just the attacking wise, Breloom is a big threat to my team, and Durant as well. If it hits, it's gonna be a threat. If it doesn't hit, I can deal with it. But other than that, it has the coverage to deal with my team very well. Thankfully, Durant doesn't get Earthquake. That would make way more difficult to deal with, but just Iron Head, Scizor, Crunch, Superpower. There you have a set. Just scrap one of those at Agility or something like that, and it's an even more annoying threat. Of course, then I potentially have one to deal with it, but it's still a huge threat. And yeah, these are basically the notable offensive threats. Defensive-wise, the biggest pain is, of course, Mega Venusaur, Celesteela. Arcanine could be a problem if some of the mons are not gone anymore, because I have some mons which can't really deal with Arcanine. The good thing with Arcanine and Venusaur is that they both, their recovery move is Synthesis. There's only 8 times, so if I can wear them down, that's gonna be nice, because they don't have the best recovery. I think it's a pretty good recovery option, Morning Sun and Synthesis, but they both only have 8 PP, and so you only can do it 8 times. So if need be, I can potentially stall them out of that. But yeah, like I said, these are more defensive threats, and then the offensive threats are mainly, I want to say, Breloom, Durant, Celesteela. These are like the 3 offensive threats I'm scared about, and defensive-wise, Celesteela again, Mega Venusaur, and what have I got? Arcanine. Scizor is kind of annoying as well, if you don't have Dry Coverage, but it has like no recovery at all. It's just more of a mission of wearing it down, and at some point it will die. It just depends on how much I have to invest to kill it. The other mons, they might just not die at all. But yeah, that's enough of his team. Let's go over my team now. We start off once again with Q Black, because let's be real, in which match does Q Black have not a good matchup? It's just way too amazing of a mon, and this time I am going fancy with my EV spread. So, let's talk about the EVs first. I got enough speed to outspeed a max speed. Let me look at his team again. Max speed, not Breloom, Gardevoir. There you go, base 80. I have enough speed to outspeed a max speed Gardevoir. Then I have enough attack investment to 2-hit KO the standard defense of Celesteela. I didn't want to go with max defense, or I could go with max defense, but then I would have to run max attack. So I decided, like, what middling bulky Celesteela I could run with the Calcuf. I just go with the standard defensive one. It has a plus defense nature and like 100 something in defense. So that's the creature I want to hit. So if he's offensive, I definitely 2-hit KO him. If he's special defensive, I definitely 2-hit KO him. If he's fully physically defensive, I don't 2-hit KO him, but I still do a lot of damage. It's the same way I used how I want to do my special attack, because that is enough special attack to 2-hit KO the standard bulky Mega Venusaur, because I have once again no idea if he's going to be more specially or physically bulky. That depends a lot on what he wants to check what, because special defensive Venusaur deals with Gengar, for example. Special defensive Celesteela deals with Gengar, for example. If they're both physically defensive, they don't deal with Gengar, so it's I can't really predict what of these mons are physically, what's specially defensive. Same with Arcanine, could be special defensive as well, could be physically defensive. So I just want to go with some kind of mixed defense variant, so I'm like in the middle of what I can deal with. So yeah, this special attack is enough to 2-hit KO the standard defensive Venusaur, which is more special defensive. It has like a plus def nature and like, once again, 100 something investment in that. That's for specific OU mons. I'm not expecting him to have exactly the spread, but I am expecting him to be like more mixed defensive on both of these mons. So I used those mons, or those spreads, as an inspiration from what I want to do. This is as well enough special attack to 2-hit KO physically defensive Arcanine with Earth Power. So now, let's talk about the moveset. Like I said, Ice Beam for Venusaur, Fusion Bolt for the Celesteela, Earth Power for the Arcanine, and then Substitute is there because he very much struggles to switch into that thing. And if I can sub up on the switch, I don't have, like, otherwise I would have to predict. Like, let's say I go for Fusion Bolt, switch on the Venusaur, I can't 2-hit KO him. I go for Ice Beam, he goes to Celesteela, I can't 2-hit KO him. But if in both of these switches I go for Substitute, then I can 2-hit KO because of speed. I can go for 2 Fusion Bolts or 2 Ice Beams. That's why I like Substitute on Kyurem, because it gives me a lot more freedom. And like potentially, if he only has Scald and Scizor, that can break my sub. If he wants to Toxic Me or something, that can break me. I have leftovers so I can go for multiple Substitutes. And I am a bit bulky, like I said. I want a bit more bulk, that's why I didn't go max on any of these and just want to hit these thresholds of damage. That's why I have a lot of HP and I have a lot of HP investment defenses for just leftovers. But that may be a bit bulky, and that may come into play in some stuffs breaking my Substitute. But yeah, that's the main reason I have this right here on the squad. Just basically, yes, trouble switching into that. If you want to switch into that, I go for Substitute, and then I can 2-hit KO whatever's in front of me. I don't have to predict, or at least at the beginning when I'm still at a good amount of health, I don't have to predict, I can just go for Substitute. But yeah, that is the Kyurem Black. Next up, we got Good Boy, the Mega Manectric. Enough speed to outspeed the max speed Aerodactyl, so this will be the fastest mon barring Scarfers on the team. On both our teams, with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power Grass. Pretty straightforward moveset. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, main stab moves. Flamethrower, therefore, some of his Fire Weak mons, like the Durant, like the Breloom, like the... I think that's it. Mega Venusaur, of course, not weak because 6 Fire. And then Hidden Power Grass. For the Size method, I had initial single beam over Flamethrower, so I can hit the Hydreigon, but looking at the mons, I rather Flamethrower for stuff like the Breloom, and especially Breloom, and the Durant, because Durant could be a big threat, and having something to Oko that is awesome. And I need the Hidden Power Grass over Hidden Power Ice, because yeah, Size method might be most likely a check to this, and with Hidden Power Grass I can do a lot of damage to that. He is most likely, he will be, if he's not a Salt Dust, he will most likely be the Grass of this berry, the Rindo Berry I think it is. So I have to get a lot of damage on that, maybe knock that off or something. Like, I don't have a knockoff on my team, what I'm even talking about. But yeah, weaken him, scout what he is, and then potentially at some point go for Hidden Power Grass and wear him down before the Flamethrower, maybe snaking his Lucky Burn, stuff like that. I decided Flamethrower over Overheat, because Flamethrower is mainly there just to Oko Durant and Oko Breloom, and both of that is done with Flamethrower. Overheat is not needed, so that's why I go Flamethrower, so I don't drop my attack, I can spam it more easily. And yeah, and it has a burn chance, which Overheat I think doesn't have, right? That's 10% burn chance, and Overheat, nope, only lowers the special attack. So there we go, Flamethrower, of course better than Overheat. But yeah, that's my trick. Just in general, be fast, Wolf Switch around his team. Once Size Method is weakened, which is his only ground type, I can Wolf Switch freely. Of course, it's very nice to revenge kill stuff like the Celesteela, like the Aerodactyl, like the, like in general his team. Like I said, Wolf Switch around, be fast, intimidate some mons, and boom, bang, boom. That's your good boy. Next up, we got our choice scarf of the team, which is Gengar Geist with Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam. Not max speed, so I can outspeed a max speed, max speed Scarf Durant, because that's of course 108 or 109. I think it's 109 speed. So yeah, we got enough speed for that. Before that, I had a choice scarf Delphox on the team. They both do a very similar thing in range killing a lot of the mons, but the thing is with Delphox, if I go for Fire Blast, of course does more damage to Celesteela, Psyshock does more damage to Venusaur, all this good stuff, but it doesn't really have a move I can spam late game to win the game, because there's a lot of resistances to either Fire Blast, he lost the resistances to the Psychic moves, and then I have like Grass Knot and Dazzling Gleam as my other moves, which he can deal with, but Grass Knot of course is very much resisted by a lot of his mons. It would be only there for the Size Method, and Dazzling Gleam would be mainly there for the, or only there for his two dark types, being the Hydreigon and the Alolan Persian, but there's not like, didn't really see like late game Delphox coming in and then spam Fire Blast to win the game, or spam Psyshock to win the game, because there's just way too many resistances to those moves. It is better at revenge killing at Gengar, because the stat moves are stronger versus some of his mons, and it has basically the same coverage I need. But I decided with Gengar, because Gengar has more spammable moves. I can see myself more winning with spamming Shadow Ball or Sludge Wave in the late game. Like Sludge Wave if either Celesteela is gone, Shadow Ball if his dark types are more weakened. Then I still have Thunderbolt there to revenge kill some stuff, revenge kill with the Celesteela, doesn't give of course for these dark types, like I already mentioned. But I think Gengar has a better ability to sweep basically late game as well, instead of being just a straight Scarf revenge killer, which the Delphox's main job would be. Then I decided to go with Gengar over Delphox. Other than that, it has actually outspeeds its potential Scarf Durant, which Delphox wouldn't do, so that is good as well. But yeah, like I said, revenge killer and potentially late game sweeper, because he has no Shadow Ball immunity anymore. So now that the Raptor is gone, he only has to, quote unquote, only has to resist in Alolan Persian and Hydreigon. Hydreigon I can deal very well with, I don't mind that. Persian Alola is not that bulky on the special side, so I can get some good damage on that as well. And of course it's not too big of a threat. Alolan Persian is mainly annoying to deal with. It's not like it will sweep your team, it's just annoying to deal with. Next up, we got Walnut, our Tapu Fini. This, I had to, like I said, I had to bring this thing because of Hydreigon. As long as I have this thing, Hydreigon is not a problem. I have Moonblast, Surf, Nature's Madness, and Defog. Of course, Moonblast main stab to deal with Breloom, for example. Surf, my main stab to deal with Arcanine, for example. Nature's Madness, of course, I want to have something to touch the Mega Venusaur, and then Defog for hazard removal. I have enough speed to outspeed a max speed Breloom, enough HP, max HP basically, and the rest in special attack. I just want max HP, so I'm bulky enough to, like I said, take on the Hydreigon, and then just rest in special attack so I can do some damage. You have to see a lot of my team. If you look at my whole team just as it is now, I don't have a switch into Breloom basically. I don't have anything to switch into Breloom. But my whole team outspeeds Breloom and does OHKO it with any move it has. Like I said, for example, we have here Ice Beam to it, OHKO's Breloom, Flamethrower, OHKO's Breloom, Sludge Wave, OHKO's Breloom. I actually don't know, would have to do with card. Moonblast, OHKO's Breloom. I do outspeed it as well. So basically everyone can deal with it, but I don't have a good switch into that. So the only scenario I could see me wanting to switch out with Breloom instead of killing it would be like with Kyurem being in range of Mark Punch and I'm having it in. But then just have something else as to die. But basically, that is Tapu Fini, mainly there for the Hydreigon, and in general just be a Defogger, Nature Madness around, force the Venusaur to Synthesis after each Nature's Madness, so we can stall those out, and yeah, that is Tapu Fini for you. Next up, last but not second to last, we got Tornadoes, 50 Safety Goggles, Prankster, Hurricane, Heatwave, U-Turn, Tailwind. Like I said, again, Heatwave already outgoes Breloom, Hurricane outgoes 5 Breloons, and then U-Turn for Momentum and Tailwind. But talk about Tailwind later. Enough speed to outspeed a max speed Durant, I think. Let's see, let's look at the Steam again. Persian, I can't outspeed. Yes, max speed Durant. Heatwave, of course, Celesteela. Hurricane is a very nice move to spam versus Steam because it's only flying resist. It's the Rotom or the Celesteela. And for CC, I have Heatwave, and Rotom might not come versus my team because I have a very nice Pursuit Trapper in, in the Crocodile. So it might not come. U-Turn is there for Momentum. Tailwind is there for late game Tailwind because if I can get Tailwind, if I can basically just imagine Kyurem under Kyurem Black under Tailwind. And there you go, that's the reason I have Tailwind. And of course it can help out with a lot of other ones, just in general outspeeding his whole team. I have a very fast team with the team I brought, like everything at least outspeeds Breloom. But with Tailwind I can even outspeed some Scarfers and all this good stuff. Like I said, for example, he gets like a Totemize up with Celesteela or a Jirachiefs with Durant. Then both of these monsters would outspeed my whole team. But then I can still get a Prankster Tailwind up to have something else to outspeed it and then revenge kill them. So it's a safety measure and in general to be like help Kyurem sweep, for example, late game, or even just Tornadoes because Hurricane, as long as it hits, is a great move to split versus his team. Safety Goggles is there just to be safe versus the Venusaur. This might be like the Venusaur switch-in. I have another likely Venusaur switch-in in the next after that into Cobalion, but I very much think he will bring Earthquake as coverage because not only deals with Cobalion, which otherwise with its grass and with its immune to poison, but it's weak to ground. Same goes for Gengar. It resists poison, it resists grass, but it's weak to ground. So I'm thinking it's very likely that he brings Earthquake on his Mega Venusaur to deal with both of these mons. So having Tornadoes as my switch and being immune to that, of course not being immune to the Sludge Bomb, but he might just bring only grass and ground coverage, which I could see. In which case Tornadoes is a great switch, and then I have Safety Goggles to not have to worry about Sleep Powder, all this good stuff, Spore and Breloom in case he wants to bring it up. Because of course, Tornadoes is not immune to the Spore because it's floating, it's not affected by any Misty Terrain once that is up. That's why I decided to have Safety Goggles, and yeah, there's Tornadoes basically for you. Just spam Hurricane, hopefully hit, and then potentially late game go for a Tailwind and help either sweep himself or help some other one sweeping. But yeah, next up, we got Cobalion. Like I said, one of my switch-ins to the Venusaur as well. That's I'm more bulky with Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, Stealth Rock, and Sword Sense. Stealth Rock there has to go for Stealth Rocks. I want to be more bulky with Stealth Rock, and Sword Sense is probably a move I will only click very late into the game to surprise him. Because if he sees that I'm a more bulky variant, I have rocks, he might think that I'm not an offensive variant. And if I can then click Sword Sense late game and sweep for his team, that would be awesome. I have Fighting and then Headbutt coverage, which is very nice with his team because that is Leela, Close Combat, Hydreigon, Close Combat, Arcanine, Close Combat, Mega Venusaur, Zed Headbutt, there we go, one of the Fighting resists. Seismitoad, Close Combat, Aerodactyl, Close Combat, Rotom Spook, I would have to hit with Stand Headbutt, like Rotom Spook is the worst, quote unquote, to hit with their team, same with Gardevoir, but Gardevoir still takes a shit ton from my mons, and then Breloom, Close Combat, Persian, Close Combat, Durant, Close Combat, there we go. Jumbo Berry there, so I can take, for example, the Mark Punch from Breloom better if he wants to go for that, and I'm sweeping and he wants to go for Mark Punch. And another thing is, this is my main switch into the Durant as well. I resist Ironhead, I resist Scizor, I resist Crunch, all this likely moves he could go for. He doesn't have Earthquake, thankfully. The only thing he really has to hit Cobalion is like either Fire Fang or Superpower. And if he brings one of the two, I'm thinking Superpower just because of the higher base power, and it will actually potentially OHKO Cobalion if he's like a Hornclaws variant. With Chowberry, I can take the hit, go for Close Combat versus that, and all this good stuff. So yeah, that's the reason for Chowberry on Cobalion. But like I said, this thing has enough speed to outspeed. Look, see, I think Hydreigon. Does he have something faster than Hydreigon? Rotom is slower. Gardevoir, yeah, it's Hydreigon. Max speed Hydreigon. I can outspeed with that. He might just be Scarf Hydreigon with U-turn. Like if he beats Hydreigon, it definitely will have U-turn because otherwise, like my Fini is a dead stop to that. And through that he can potentially get momentum, which could be a bit annoying. Like, he could just bring Hydreigon for this momentum circle, because when I say Hydreigon, I'm quote-unquote forced to bring Tapu Fini. Of course, I can later in the game predict around it, but he just goes for U-turn, then he can, for example, bring Mega Venusaur in versus my Tapu Fini, or Breloom, for example, versus my Fini. All this good stuff. Thinking I'm slower than Breloom, of course, otherwise I deal with it. But yeah, that is the full team. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Who will perform the best? Who will perform the least? All this good stuff. How will this game end? Will we Borussia Donphan go 2-0 into the season, or will we grab our first defeat already and go 1-1? Find out tomorrow for the match, but that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me up onto my Facebook. All the links in the description, and I will see you in another time. Ciao.